Welcome back to MJL 3764 collecting Elvis on vinyl. Today I thought we'd take a look at another 50s album. So let's pick one and let's pick The Best of Elvis. The Best of Elvis was a UK release, and when released in 1957 reached number 3 in the charts. This was Elvis's third and final HMV label release, the first being the first album, Elvis Presley, the second being number 2. The third album release was actually another 10-inch, that was Loving You, which was actually on the black RCA large silver spot. And for the fourth release, HMV cobbled together The Best of Elvis, 10-track, 10-inch album. Don't know what you think of the cover. It's a very heavily tinted picture of Elvis. See the Master's Voice logo there. I only have one copy of this because these used to go for a pretty penny, but I think you can pick them up actually fairly cheaper now. They're quite common, they do come up often, so I might get another copy of this, but this one's an okay copy. It's got a little tear, but the record plays absolutely fine, just a few crackles here and there. So for the moment, this one will do me fine. It was issued in a fully laminated cover. I think there was only one press of this anyway. It's got the half moon, top and bottom. And it's on the lovely HMV label. It's a nice 10-inch album, that. In the 80s, around 1983, this French release came out. There was 3 or 4 in this set, can't remember, but in 83 I was probably 18 years old, so by the time I'd saved up the money to get this one, the others had disappeared. Again, need to track them down. You could probably pick them up easily now on eBay or Discogs or whatever. So that's another thing for me to do, is maybe collect a whole set of these. It does say at the top, originally released the UK 1958. It was actually out in 1957. This was issued, this album, in the UK in 57 before the Christmas album. You can see they've put RCA now, it's obviously at the top instead of HMV. Back cover again slightly different with the RCA logos. Half moons. And it came in this cardboard. The record was stuck there onto this cardboard here, and you've got some information on the back, done by the French fan club. And the record was on the black RCA large silver spot, looking like that. So a nice reproduction, this one. Not completely authentic, but very nicely done, I thought, at the time. And as I didn't have this album at the time, I jumped at this one. I didn't pick this one up to the 90s, and this was around 1983. So looking at the tracks, 10 tracks, sort of a greatest hits, Best of Elvis, all stellar tracks, can't go wrong with any of these. I know some fans don't like Blue Moon, I don't mind it actually, it's not my favourite track on here. Obviously I would go for Heartbreak Hotel. I do like his version of Tutti Frutti, Hound Dog, Too Much, Any Way You Want Me. Yeah, all stellar tracks. Nice album to have. So as this is going to be a short video, I thought we'd look at some more 1950s Elvis albums coming up now. These albums were not made in the 50s but feature 50s material. So the first one will be Elvis, Scotty and Bill, the first year. This was issued in 1979. And this was not really a bootleg. You could pick it up quite easily in the record shops, but it wasn't actually licensed by RCA at the time. This album's on the Golden Editions, the very wonderful Golden Editions label, which looks something like that. And it featured a gatefold sleeve and a booklet. So this was distributed by Virgin Records at the time. That's the front cover. It's the gatefold sleeve with some nice pictures there and some text there about the first year. The first side are live recordings, which was nice to have at the time, in fairly good quality for the year, 1955. And the second side of the record was Scotty Moore telling the story of the first year. Back side looks like that. As you can see, it's from the Eagles Hall, March 1955, Texas. And there's the 5 live tracks. Nice to have at the time. Came with this booklet and also this management contract between Elvis and Scotty Moore. I'll let you pause if you want to read all that. And the booklet looked like this. Have a quick flick through. Nicely done at the time, I thought, even though it's not official. And that's Elvis, Scotty and Bill, the first year, which was issued 3 or 4 times. This was the first one, 1979. There was one in 1983 on the Sun record label. Again, that wasn't official. Then there was this one, which is an Italian release in 1984. This is on the Oxford label. It's got a slightly different cover. Again, it's not official. There's no booklet with this one. No contract, no gatefold. And it looks like that. And the label looks like that. Now this was eventually officially released by RCA, and it turned up around 1985 on the new German Black label. So a few more copies for me to own of this album, Elvis, Scotty and Bill. Quite some time ago I made a video about an album called the Sun Collection, and I also showed on that video other Sun related Elvis albums, but due to timing reasons here's one that I omitted. So I thought now we're talking 50s Elvis, be a good time to show it now. This one's called Elvis at Sun. It came out in 2004. It's a single album. Nice cover. Of course, epitomising Elvis in the 50s. The old-fashioned mic, the loud jacket, the leather case on the guitar. Yeah, nice cover. Back side's pretty plain. It looks like that. I'll let you pause if you want to read the text. There's the tracks. 19 tracks. And they've replicated the Sun label, but of course you have the RCA BMG label as well. Have a nice release. Can't go wrong with Elvis at Sun. A recent purchase, this one on my Sun video. The only album I had for the $1 Million Quartet was this one. It's come out in 1981. This was an edited version of the jam session. I did have the full complete $1 Million Quartet on CD, but I didn't have the album. This is the, again, semi-official album. It's on the Sun label. It's come out in 1987. It's a double. RCA did actually get round to issuing this, RCA BMG, in 1990. There's a double with a different cover. This was out first, 87. So I just recently got this one. Gatefold sleeve. Lots of text. All the track listings. It's on the Sun label. Again, when I first heard this, I think everyone had high expectations of this because it was recorded in the studio, so we thought it would be in great quality, etc, etc. It's not bad quality, but yeah, I remember being quite disappointed when I did first hear it. But again, you've got to think about it. It's a jam session, so nothing was down on paper. They just went in and sung little portions of songs. There's not many complete songs on here. There is some good songs with the whole band, Cole Perkins Band, I believe. So yeah, there was a couple of good tracks on here, but it is what it is. It's just a jam session, really. But I was happy to own that one on vinyl. Just a quick update before we close this video. When I started this series, if you will, collecting Elvis on vinyl about 2 years ago, my goal was to show every UK Elvis release from Elvis Presley, the first album during Elvis's lifetime, till Moody Blue. We've done that now. It's all been covered, every album. So if you've missed one, please look back on my videos and you'll be able to find it. I also wanted to show all my other compilations albums up until around the mid-90s when I stopped collecting. So still a few more videos to go. My aim was to make 100 videos. We're nearly at 100 now, but there's still a few more compilations to show. And also recently I did, in the last couple of years, I've acquired a few more albums. Some of them I've been looking at for a very, very long time, so I'm very happy to get some of those. So I will show some of the recent additions as well, the additions to my collection, which I've bought since starting these videos. So once again, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And just remember, until the next time, while there's music, life's no waste.